Hey guys, what's up? As you can see, this is not our typical setting for an intro, but we had Ryan Bazil back on this week and sort of just dove right into things without giving him the proper introduction. So that being said, we had Ryan Bazil on. It's his second time coming back. This guy is super smart, very well spoken, and super social and outgoing. So he had a really good perspective and kind of insight on the dating scene today, and that's kind of what we brought him back. We wanted to open up this dialogue about, the culture of dating and where it's kind of evolved to at this point, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, really. So that being said, though, we realize it's a very one-sided conversation, considering it's just a bunch of dudes expressing our opinions on girls. So in the future, we do want to bring a girl on and have the same kind of dialogue, give you a chance to share your side of things and give that point of view as well. We're very open-minded. We're not saying the things we're saying in this episode to say we're completely right or girls are bad, but just giving our opinion as millennial men. So that being said, please don't be offended by the things that you hear in this episode. Take it with a grain of salt, and if you'd like to come on and kind of defend the females, please let us know, and we'd love to have that conversation as well. So please enjoy Ryan Bazil's episode, and thank you as always for the love and support. Peace.
Ipso facto, if you...
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Ipso facto?
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Is that what it means, or you just made that up?
You guys ever seen the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah, of course, dude.
Ben Stiller in that movie, he's like... He says something, he's like, ipso facto,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ipso facto, I own the gym.
That's what it was.
You couldn't pay for the gym. I could pay for the gym. Ipso facto, I own your gym.
That's where you guys are from. There we go. Love that.
Michelle, what did I tell you about walking in on me while I'm doing a training session? Michelle.
You just got so fired up in terms All right. If you were to compare your sex life to a genre of music, what music would it be?
Oof. I would say probably it's a mix for sure.
No, one genre.
Dude, oh God.
It doesn't work.
I'd say maybe reggaeton.
Oh, nice, dude.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I think.
You said
Yeah, reggaeton.
I want to hear you
whether
say.
that's
He said what?
whether that's Latino,
reggaeton?
or you can say it
Is that a pasta, rigatoni?
or you can say it the most American way possible.
Is that a pasta?
Reggaeton. I mean, I think it's actually.
Okay, you're gonna try to run a Jamaican accent?
Nah. No, you just said.
You attempted to repeat it and then you
said
cut yourself
reggaeton.
off, so I wanted to hear you say the whole thing.
You just have that flair with it.
You're gonna put me on blast like that?
You did it to yourself, I think.
Everyone knew what I was saying.
Okay.
But you knew that I did not know.
You wanted to say it and you stopped yourself, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
Reggaeton.
Okay, now...
I don't think that's Jamaican either.
No, it's kind of like a Latino fusion, but at the same time it can be. It's not just one.
Like Bad
To me,
Bunny?
it's not just but it's not just one.
Okay.
It's not just Latino though. This could be Caribbean. You have soca, which is a version of reggae, which is more
He says the words right. I mean,
It's
I can't say reggae.
It's
after
a
he
mixture of a Caribbean, the Caribbean reggae music, Caribbean reggaeton, a mixture of reggaeton.
And R&B-ish?
That upscale beat.
Okay.
But you're still with a mixture of R&B in it.
So you like that salsa vibe?
Yeah, I love to dance.
You a dancer?
Yeah, I love
he's
to
a
dance.
dancer.
I love to dance.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows me knows I love to dance. If you see me out,
Okay.
you know I love to dance. It's this vibe.
What's the one song that you might be chilling, you're at a table, you're sitting in your seat, whatever, but one song comes on at the club and you're getting up and you got to get to the dance floor?
Oh, jeez.
Caliente.
Nah.
Caliente. That's a good one.
Nah, I mean, there's a lot.
I think it's Suavemente. You said Caliente. It's Suavemente. Caliente.
No,
At first I said yes.
Yes.
It's Suavemente.
It's It's suavemente, not caliente.
I pulled it off again.
Oh my god.
And you ruined my
Bro,
moment.
what happened? What happened?
You ruined my moment.
We gotta stay authentic, Nick. We gotta
Jesus
stay
Christ.
authentic. I'm not gonna let you lie to the people.
You knew that I didn't know
Said
that.
caliente. I heard it. I heard it.
We gotta be
It's
authentic.
okay. We'll give you a
man.
pass.
It's okay, dude. It's
no,
okay.
but if I'm to be real, like there's a mixture. It's hard to explain, but like like that reggaeton, like reggaeton, but like it's like reggaeton.
So, okay, like reggaeton. That one wasn't Italian. That was just...
Is that like Boca Raton?
Yo.
I can't roll my tongue. I can't tell that.
Yo, the man's not gonna get through it, bro.
Hey, listen, boy.
Don't make it so hard on him, bro.
Now you got
He's
me.
hearing how it's really supposed to be said. Like,
You got me blurry vision now. All right, so since
like
you
weird
like
lines?
since you like that genre of music, what about that genre of music would coincide with your sex life?
I just say
What about
like
that?
there's a lot of like, to be honest, there's a lot of passion. Like there's a lot of like kind of like it's like a
You
can't explain it.
You a foreplay guy?
Oh, for sure.
Live in the foreplay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like to me, like,
It's the build up.
to me, I don't like to be boring. Like, it's cool if you want to get straight to the point. If two people like drunk or like, whatever, like, but like if I'm like with somebody and we're intimate, like I'm not just getting straight to the point. Like
Sucking toes.
you're gonna want
Oh.
that. That's like you gotta, you know, like I feel like the more older we're getting, like now that I realize it, I'm like, yo, like.
It's an
I don't-
experience, you know.
But at the same time, I don't like playing games. Like I'm just like whatever. Like I
But
try to-
that would be in the opposite. This is a
no,
game.
no. But I mean, I'm playing games in terms of like just like, oh, we're just gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna give you
okay.
everything.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean by
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're giving it your all. If
Yeah,
you,
because
if you get into that
yeah.
Well,
point.
that's in that in turn teams with like me not just like, you know, going around like just like hitting every person that I think like for me it's more deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like I've reached like a different kind of like spiritual like or like not even like just like mental like space where like it's very positive or like the energy has to be there and like you feel it and it's like that's kind of where I am right now.
So that being said, does that mean like in those situations, are you only doing that with a person that like you see a future with or you're looking for a relationship with, or does that same experience exist with like a one-time thing?
Recently it's been more like a one-time thing just because like
And you can
I'm
have
in a
that
space
same connection with a
and you
person
can have
on
that
a
same
one-time
connection.
thing.
I feel like we've gotten to a point where like it's
How
so
though, bro? Because that level of comfortability is not there. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen. I felt like what I'm saying. I felt like we've gotten to a point where men, like males and females, and I'll get to a story after this, but males and females are so like apart now, like in terms of like understanding and really
And
knowing what each other
intentions?
wants and intentions.
We were just talking about this.
That we don't understand. Like we can't even like have a man and a female have a decent conversation.
I
in
think
the
a lot
same
of
room
people
without
won't be
something happening.
honest about their intentions
won't.
either is a problem. It's
won't.
hard to like get to the right point in a relationship when neither person can be honest with their intentions.
The question is, why is that? Why is there a hesitancy to be true?
I think like this social shame of
You gotta,
caring, you know,
yeah.
it's cool to be a savage now, you know, like it's
But
it's the cool thing.
But is it? But
No,
is it?
100%
Because, like,
not.
No. But I'm talking about in terms of like, they're still in. I don't care to go on the record for it, but in personally, like West Palm Beach specifically, I
Right.
feel like
Been
I
quiet.
meet a lot of like females that are the you feel typical, like are the typical you go after this specific type of person, and you're always getting like in trouble for it, but you can't learn because you're just ingrained into I like what I like. So like it kind of creates an issue.
But what do you like? What like depends what you like though. Like, and that's what I'm saying. That's
the way that I see it is like I think when we were like in high school, and we're all around the same age. I feel like when we were in high school, or maybe even take it a further step back, when we were in middle school, if you were like getting around as a girl, and like hooking up with a ton of people,
Everyone knew.
it was not a good reputation.
No.
You were like a slut or
And I
a
remember all
thought,
those
whatever,
days, yeah.
and you were like getting shamed for that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying slut shaming is like good or whatever, but that was the culture at the time.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, if you were getting around, you weren't cool, you weren't hot, you were like a hoe.
Yep.
In high school, that shift might have started where like some girls were like thoughting around, and that started to become like okay, and it was just like, well, she's fucking fine, you know, and that's why she gets around. Now it's almost like the tables have turned, where girls almost like, I'm not gonna say 100% of the time, but you find a lot of girls that like take pride in being a savage, you know, and like I have no feelings, I don't give a fuck about a dude, fuck that guy, you know, like. And
but those are the same girls that will be on their Instagram saying with a quote saying something about how you know, I need a man to hold me down. And
and wondering why they can't find it.
The double standard, which is what I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay,
which was the like when I messaged you talking about how that like women put men on a specific pedestal.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's open that up.
He's got to check all these boxes.
Break it down.
Okay, so I'll tell you my opinion. Then you can bounce it all off. I think that there is this Hollywood expectation of a Matthew McConaughey walking up in a rom-com, beautiful and confident and perfect, and like that's it. Like he's gonna be a 10 across the board, boom. It's so intimidating. And again, this is like my team. I'm a guy, but this is from my point of view. But it's so intimidating walking up to a girl because it's like it's a scary thing. If you see a pretty girl and you're into her vibe and you walk up to her, you got to really like pronounce yourself. It's not hard talking to a random person. Yep. And on top of that, you basically have to come as this perfect package, or they're turning around. You know, so in my opinion, there's this expectation where I think at our age, and this is my opinion, a lot more guys are looking for like the conversation than girls are looking for the conversation, and that's what it boils down to. Are you at the bar for the conversation? You know, and a lot of people aren't.
That's the crazy thing is that I agree so much with everything you just said, because that's the first time I've heard someone say that, because I've noticed it. And that's why I've kind of like shifted my expectation a little bit in terms of how I approach certain things. But like, yeah, I feel like females specifically don't enjoy that conversation anymore. It's more like just like
clout
action. And
what's the point of this conversation? And I'm like, I just want to get to know you.
It's crazy when like for a guy, for a male, whatever, if you're like a gentleman, if you're like old school, if you like, just that's the way you grew up. Yeah. Like you can't have that real chance really anymore when you go out, because like either it'll be like an awkward situation, and then she makes you feel stupid or something like that. So like, and it's cool because like I've kind of been able to experience all of those, which has given me like a certain like experience and then like realization over the years in terms of how to deal with certain situations, especially going out. Yeah. Like, for females, like I said, I grew up in a house full of females, so like for me, it was kind of growing up understanding a little bit differently how like women work in terms of internally, like and externally, with males as well, like with men, and why they're attracted to certain men versus why they're not attracted to other men.
Have you felt like you had that advantage your whole life growing up with the girls?
No, because
it's something you realized recently.
Yeah, because when I was younger, it was kind of like
weird to have the qualities you have now that are powerful.
Yeah, because when I was younger, it wasn't like it was kind of like weird, like yo, yeah, so many females around, whatever. Like you must get all like I didn't understand that when I was younger. I grew up in a Christian school. I grew up in a private, like that lifestyle was different. Right. But it was very mixed. I know that I learned a lot of that. Then I went to public school, high school, so it was a big switch to understanding like how that works. But I mean, it was crazy to see how like certain situations could bring certain things out of certain people.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean like you would go like you can go out and you meet somebody and you just at the bar, whatever, start chatting, whatever, like that. And a second later, you can get like it could be just done. Like she can be just like, oh, whatever, and then turn to the side. Next thing you have someone else show up, or I have a friend show up. Mm-hmm. Like how many times does it happen? I don't know if that's happened to any one of us, but like if you're at the bar and you're talking,
it's probably happened to everybody.
And her friend shows up, and then she's like, her friend maybe like
no longer
or something like you, or just no longer interested just on that.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do at that point?
Push his mic towards him a little bit.
Yeah. So what do you do at that? What do you do? What do you do at that point?
That.
I was saying.
Yeah.
He did. I was saying push his mic towards him.
When I say that, like, it's just like there's an expectation there. I feel like that's different than what it used to be. Like when I was doing in high school versus like college versus now. Like now, I've learned like through experiences, I don't chase.
Yeah.
I don't chase.
Good.
Like I don't act like if we're out or whatever like that, there's no reason to, because like at the end of the day, like I've been through too many experiences that you know, that's cool, whatever. But if you can't have a communication with me, if you can't have a conversation with me, if we can't like be true and real, like there, like then I'm not, like, you know, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a one-off.
But do you have that type of heart where right now in life, if you meet the one, that's the one, boom, locked, done, or are you like, listen, I'm just free and whatever hits me?
If I meet the one,
yeah.
but that's not something that I'm rushing.
Yeah.
That's not something that's like I'm actively searching for.
Your mind is open to it.
But
it's
your
not
mind's
like
open to it. But that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people's minds are even like so shut off to anything else like transactional. Like it's either sex for money, sex for sex. I just use him because I don't have to talk to him, you know.
For me, the first thing that I'm trying to find is like whether you can match this. Like match my energy. And like anyone who really knows me, like I'm not somebody who asks for much. Yeah. Like I just like, if you have a positive energy about me, I could tell. Like I'm just like I've grown up around that vibe, so like, you know, energy is a big thing for me. Like if I feel you got good energy, whatever, like vibe with me. Like let's see what's it. Like I feel like nowadays I feel like too many people are getting into situations where like they don't know nobody.
Yeah.
Like they just want to hop in.
Yeah.
And they get caught and now they can't get out of it, or they just don't want to get out of it, or it's just ignorance, whatever. Like instead of getting to know the person. Like, you know, I've always said it's great to be the best friend with the person that you end up like spending the rest of your life with.
Yeah.
And when
but how do you deal with the friend zone? So like this is something I think has been super pertinent to like social media right now. Because who is it that just got out of the friend zone? Fuck, I'm gonna be so mad if I don't think of it right now. But there is someone super famous that... Oh, it's A$AP Rocky and Rihanna.
Oh, and Rihanna.
A$AP Rocky and Rihanna.
He's been saying it.
He's been calling out Rihanna in his raps for years.
No
He's in interviews too. In interviews too, he's been saying he wants Rihanna.
And you would think that would almost shut him out, you know? Like Rihanna as a celebrity...
But for him, he also said he doesn't mix work with pleasure.
And he's got the fucking personality.
But I'm just saying, he always said that. He never mixes work with pleasure.
Well, I don't know how he can justify what he's doing now.
No, like I'm saying, like he never did that, but he wanted like Rihanna. That was just something like he was like, "Yo, Rihanna is like."
I feel and it never took away from
eventually.
His work.
I feel like it was to a point where when he matured enough, where he was like, "Yo, I really like feel like I have the assets, I have the financial stability, I have all that." Because before this, Rihanna was just dating billionaires and shit like that. And no one's saying A$AP Rocky's a billionaire, but like it's the mentality.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about this shit all the time, but, like, there's no way in hell A$AP Rocky, anyone was like, oh, okay, A$AP Rocky's going to get Rihanna.
The first time he said that, he never thought it for sure, I think.
But think about it. Same shit with, like, okay, and even though it's not the same anymore, even though with A-Rod and J-Lo. Okay. Like, Alex Rodriguez.
What was that situation?
Alex Rodriguez, like, baseball player for New York Yankees, was saying, since he was, like, a teenager, he's like, yo, who's your dream crush? Who do you want to marry someday? J-Lo. Yeah. He's like, I want to do it. I'll make it happen. Yeah. The man... Like, he made it happen. Man became a Yankee legend. The man became a Yankee legend, secured himself, was like, yo, me and her, we got a lot of the same shit going on. Yeah. They linked up. Yeah, they were dating for like, I mean, they were dating, they were engaged to get married. I think they maybe got married. I don't even know. I think they were engaged for like some time or whatever. But like, obviously they're not together now. Like, she got back with like Ben Affleck or whatever. Yeah. but
he tried his ass, bro, so bad.
No, but for me, I was just like, bro, like people can make that shit happen.
Right.
But it comes back to your thing where like people shouldn't be afraid. Like I'm a very upfront person.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I don't get the point. I don't understand why it's so difficult for people just to say like
Ryan, you gotta understand you're comfortable in your own skin. So many people aren't.
And I understand that. And what I would say to that, I was like, yo, if you really want to make something work though, like if you really want to make something work, it's okay
to be uncomfortable.
No, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to step outside your box. You know how many times I've had to step on outside my box and I got embarrassed for it? Right. But for me, it's not a failure. It's a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good shit, dog.
But like it really is, because like you like I'm too young to like, and people are too young. All of my friends that are like getting pregnant and having babies and shit now, like I feel like we're just too young to like be trying to have like this long ass commitment already. Like not that long ago it was
because society tells you this is normal right now.
Because we're seeing people on social media at some young age having babies, getting YouTube and TikTok and being successful and then being copy it. Right. But then there's so many of my friends that I know that now have babies and shit that are not with their partners.
Right.
And now it's just they're living their single life and having to raise their kids or having to co-parent while the other person with someone else. I'm like, what's the point?
And do you think a lot of that stems from people seeing the social media life and trying to emulate that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Just because like we want to be something we're not.
What do you think the next step is? Like, how do we get away from that?
Can't.
Right.
It's more like
social media is on the come up.
You can't. It's like the internet. You can't.
It's part of our DNA now.
It's part of your
social
DNA.
Media is part of your DNA.
But what you can do, and that's why it's so much harder. Because for me personally, like I'm a very old school person. Like I was mentioning, but like I hold myself to like that gentleman status. Like when in terms of like taking care of a female, taking care of women, whatever, like that, understanding that shit. Like you gotta understand all the facets that go into it. Like there's more than people think when it comes to like understanding somebody, you know, being with a female and shit like, and you guys can tell for it because you know you have to understand, like, you know, like how is she on a certain day, like you know how is she emotionally, like yeah, to you some days are like whatever, but like you know most of the time you want to, like that's who
it's
you're
Squid
here
Games.
for.
Yeah, you don't
that's
know
who
what
you're here
getting,
for.
You know?
So like it always comes back to old school shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you take care of your girl,
Yeah.
right? She
Right.
don't take care. You take care of your girl.
Yeah.
Like real essence of it.
But that's okay. Devil's avocados.
Okay, play it.
A lot of girls will be like, I could take care of my damn self,
and that's,
right?
and that's perfectly fine. When I tell you that shit, I'm like, I want to be with someone that's a queen. I want to be with like a boss that's like, you have your own business, you have what you got going for you. But at the same time, if she really understands, like if she really understands, like, you know, her queen status and who she is, then why is this not something that we can do, like we can share
Together.
Why is this not something that we can communicate with to understand, like, look, you on your level, let you do you.
I
got your
think
space.
in every relationship you got to have an alpha and a beta, and I think in that relationship you got two alphas, and I think in relationships like that I see in the world,
it comes
just,
down.
I love that you said that though, because does two alphas have to be wrong?
Do they have to?
You can't have
I was
a
literally gonna say
relationship
that.
with two alphas?
Why can't?
Because why not?
Question.
It
If
should
you're-
be
if
a
you're-
power couple.
If your girl was an alpha as well, like if you didn't have communication, how would that be?
I'm not. Here's the thing about alpha and the beta though, it switches over the situation. You
The
know what I'm
qualities,
saying?
it's
Question:
there's
Is
a
that
lot.
something you're willing to do?
Well, that's called marriage, because in
Yeah.
every situation you're going to either have to step back, or in a relationship, or you're going to have to push forward. There's never a complete.
It's a lot of compromise.
But in each compromise, there's one little winner and one little not.
There's
winner.
always a winner and a loser.
And-
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to be honest
with
absolutely.
you,
So that's what I'm saying. What?
No, I'm saying, and to be honest with you, in the bigger scheme of things, most of the times, does that shit really mean anything? Like the if we really think about it, a lot of, and maybe it's just me or things I've seen in the past, but like most of the times there's arguments, most of the shit that we don't communicate and agree on. What in the grand scheme of things, why? Like, why do you care? Like, I will, if it's something that's so petty and I'm like, you know what, whatever, you can win this argument. Because at the end of the day, this is not affecting me. Like, you got, like, it can, but like, if it's big enough, but I'm saying, like, you got to figure out a way, to communicate what's going on right when it happens. Like, some people can't. But, like, you have to be willing to say, like, look, like, this is just how I'm feeling right now. Can you understand this? And you got to have somebody that's willing to be like, all right, let me look at this from someone else's point of view, not mine.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
that's a big thing. If you go look at it from the other person's point of view, like, if I was in their shoes, how would
Even
I
if
feel
you
about
still
this?
feel like you're right.
Even if you feel like you're
But
right.
you got to be able to step out
like,
of
there's
that.
still going to be that guilt creeping, and it's just the ego that keeps people like, look, I just want to
If
stay
I
with
care
how
about this person, let me just see it from their
but
perspective.
behind closed doors, it's all...
But here's my kicker to that. I feel like the longer the relationship goes, the more these situations don't go like, hey, where we going to dinner Friday night, to like, listen, when me and my fiance got engaged, we had to decide, she's from Minnesota. Do we move to Minnesota? Do we stay in Florida? Her family's in Minnesota, mine's in Florida. That's one of these situations
difficult one.
where all these things are coming together, and in each side, there's gonna be slight winners, slight losers, but it's not like that. It's just the teeter-totter of a good relationship is that balance back and forth. So we live down here. We go up there 6 times a year. Our wedding's up in Minnesota. We're going to go see all her family up there. So that's the teeter-totter going back.
It sounds
and
like a
forth.
great compromise.
And that's what you have to find. That's what I'm saying. But when the situations get bigger, sometimes it's not a reactive answer. It's like a series of conversations.
I mean, your example just sounded like a big example. You know, that's like that's a
why it
tough
hits
one.
home. That's why it hits
That's
home.
a good one because,
Yeah.
but I think that you gave a perfect example of the answer is compromise.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to pick a side and one person has to be right and one person has to be wrong and then a decision has to be made on that. The ability to hear one side and then be able to hear the other side and compromise.
What does that stem from?
Understanding.
Communication,
yeah.
Like, look, it's so cliche, and it hurts me. How much I.
That's how it always is, though. Right?
It just comes back to one thing. If you can communicate with somebody, if you can truly, and I always tell people this: if a female wants to be with you, there's nothing that's gonna stop her from being with you.
Right.
If there's someone that if a girl wants to do something with you, if she wants to hang out with you, and she wants to go on a date with you,
You're saying even if she's in a relationship?
I'm saying like whatever's on her mind, whether she's in a relationship or not, that's on her.
Right, yeah.
But like, if someone wants to be with someone, there's not gonna stop them from at least asking the question or
there's
trying
a clear
to be with
path
them.
to get that
If a girl wants to hang
goal.
out with you, she's gonna be like, "Hey, what time? Like, you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Okay,
Even if she's with someone.
Sorry, I had the
To answer your
rain
question.
check. Sorry, I had the rain check. Let's do this bank when. If someone didn't want to be with you, sorry, after rain check. I don't know. We'll figure it out sometime.
I'll hit you up when I'm ready.
No, and but versus someone saying, you've had experiences versus someone saying, "Hey, let's hang out on this specific day." In this specific time, like you learn that shit over time, and I'm like, it's crazy to see because now the older I'm like, you see shit differently, and that's kind of why I am how I am now in terms of like being more just conservative when it comes to like who I have around me and like.
What were the actions that made you more conservative? Just to break it down, I mean, you just explained it in a grand scheme, but like to break it down, what were the characteristics that you identified that make you more conservative now?
I think I'm willing to listen more.
Yeah,
I'm much better of just like I'm just gonna hear you out and like whatever happens after that happens, but I'm gonna hear you out first. So like,
and from listening to from an outside perspective, it sounds like you almost know your limitations better now, where like you know what you're willing to deal with and you know what you're not willing to put up with, but also you're more open-minded.
Yeah, because I've pushed before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in a relationship where I've pushed before and it's not ended up the way I wanted to because I ended up either pushing someone away or they felt like, weird about the situation,
Right.
and vice versa. Like I've had it happen to me. So like it's kind of like you have to learn, like, and it's weird seeing, like, and I understand certain situations are different, whatever, but for me, a big thing is, like, the willingness of space. Like, the willingness to be like, yo, like, and that's what it's so hard to explain, because the willingness and the difference between you being in a friend zone versus you being in a relationship, like, that camaraderie where, like, you're so comfortable with somebody, it's just like you're with another homie. But at the same time, getting to that point where you can, have that, extra, like, that vibe, that like romantic or the intimate part of it. That's something that a lot of people don't have anymore. Like, it's just like, or can't, like, they just don't understand anymore. And it's hard for me to like reiterate that to people.
And where do you find that? Does it have to be like long-term friendships, like childhood friendships, or
like,
just people that you feel like resonate?
Yeah,
with your
people that
thought process?
For me, first of all, it starts with me being able to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Like if I can't even have a conversation with you, whether that be in person, on the phone, or on text message, like, and I get it, people different live their lives, whatever. But like I mentioned before, if you really want to be with someone, really want to do something, nothing's gonna stop you. There's not gonna be that, hey, let me text you, boom, and then you don't hear back from them for like 4 hours, and they're like, oh, sorry, I was busy. Everyone's on their fucking phone.
Right.
Everyone.
That's such
not
a bad excuse these days now. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry,
I missed it.
yeah.
You have an Apple Watch, an Apple phone, Apple AirPods.
Unless you were
like-
taking
like
a nap.
the excuse of the century. I'm like, bro, like, but there's no need to even go there. If you don't want to talk to somebody, not to tell them I feel awkward or whatever, but like, if you don't respond back to them, let them get a hint. If they keep responding back to you, block the number, whatever. But like, if you really want to be with someone, then just say it and you want to be with them. It'll make shit so much easier, and it's hard to explain that because you see it and you see other people go through it, and I'm like, damn, like, if I would just communicate with me first, if we can have a decent conversation, then you'd be like, yo, let me get to know you. Like, let me just get to know you. Then we like, it'll start off great, and then we can go off of there and see how the vibe is. Like, let's be old school about this. Let's not like just be like, yo, fuck this, I want to hook up with you.
I do
and
hear a
shit.
little bit of like recent anger and pain in your voice. Did this just happen recently? Do you not hear a little
No,
bit?
actually, no.
I feel a little bit of passion right now.
No, actually, it's just like I'm very like I'm very passionate when it comes to talking about like how this kind of like shift could be like this, like just this conversation in general, because I've seen too many people like get and fail, like just like fail or like being situations they don't need to be in, and it sucks because I don't like to see people like fail. I don't like to see anybody fail. I don't like to see anyone do bad. Let me see some shit like, bro, literally the other day I was at Flanagan's and this couple were together, and like 1 second it was going great and the other second it was just he said something and she just went off and she was just mad and then she left him at the bar, and I was like, bro,
those couples suck.
and I was like, dude, and I was sitting right next to him, like with my cousin, and I was like, dude, this is nuts. But in the other sense, I had, and this is crazy, I had a female tell me, I had a woman tell me that she doesn't like being referred to as a female. Like the
word female?
No, the word female upset her. Like the word, not just what it meant, just the word female hurt her. Because I was talking to in a general sense, and I was like, yo, females versus males. I was having a conversation, and she said that female, the word female, she's like, don't refer to them as a female. It's like, what do you want me to refer to you, woman? Like, I mean, it's the what do you? Okay,
what was your answer?
Like, she literally was just like, whatever. Like, she didn't answer the question. She was just like, and I was just like,
she heard it on a TikTok and she just had it in the bank.
I'm so confused because I was like, what prompted you to say that?
What's disrespectful about female?
And what's disrespectful about it? It's just like, no, but it's
I swear to God, in my life, if I was single and I was in that situation, I would grab my shit.
Bro, no.
I wouldn't say another word. I would sit up.
No, and the funny thing is, I literally was just like, you know, y'all can do you. I'm like, I'm going on, because to me it was so absurd that we've become such a society that these things
the
politically
correct term is offensive.
Or even a conversation. Like it makes no sense to me because. And it's just going to get worse. And it's crazy how worse it can get because think about how young we are. And we see it going this fast. Think about what social media could be 20, 30 years in the future.
Everything's toast.
No,
dude.
but that's why I'm saying you cannot go back to that. Like, you can't. There's no fixing it. But what you can, if someone really, like, they just, man, when I meet a female that is, like, I'm not on social media or I'm not, and she has
which is rare,
it's rare, and she has genuinely is just like, yo, I be chilling. Like sometimes I come out, sometimes I don't. That is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I need you have to multitask the fuck out of this shit. People are too concerned with being, I focus on one thing. When you grow up, it's okay to be good at two things. It's okay to verse yourself out.
Do you think you're okay with your social life slowing down though? Because in a relationship. So you're okay with that? Because you live a very fast lane social life right now.
Very okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always been okay with it.
I find that was one of the hardest things for me. I had my same group of boys for 7 years. Every Saturday, Sunday.
No, and I'll tell them, you all want to go? Okay, cool. I'm chilling with my homie. I'm chilling with my girl. But that has to do with sometimes if you want to be like, yo, I want to have a guys night. All right, bet. Right. If she want to have a girls night, all right, let her have a girls night. Like, that's why I come to mix. Like, if you can find someone that likes to have a good mix, like, it's like, yo, like, I like to stay in. Like, if I want to stay in and have a movie night one night, let's bet. Let's fucking do that. If you want to go out to a bar one night and let's get a couple drinks, chill, not like just vibe, like someone that like understands. Let's not let's just have like fun with it. We don't have to go 100 miles an hour wherever we're at. Like,
you like the foreplay.
Yeah. Like, but that has and foreplay for me is not just foreplay sexually.
Oh, I know. It's a
foreplay. Listen, foreplay is communication. Foreplay is me talking to you and be able to understand what you're on and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like, too many that I end up meeting are stuck in a specific situation and are okay with it. I'm like, bro, if you're not okay, you're too young to be okay with it. Like, you're like I feel like I've grown up around a lot of older cats, a lot of older guys, like, older females, whatever, that have taught me a lot as well, experience-wise, and I feel like it's true now, like, that I'm 26, I'm like, yo, like, I'm not here to play games. Like, this isn't high school, this isn't middle school, like, yo, let's be real. Like, if I can't say some shit to you, and you either respond back saying yes or no, or just being simple like that, what's wrong with it? Yeah. Like, that's it. Go on about your day.
Right,
It
1,000.
just, and I understand it's easier said than done, but like it really
Sorta.
is that simple.
It's
It's
hard.
easier said than done, but
Because
it's as simple as saying it
Yeah.
out loud and then doing
But
it.
why can't people say it out
They
loud?
can, right? It's just
Like,
scary to
what,
say.
But like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What
the
are
reaction.
The reaction
Which is, at the end of the day,
If
where
I'm
you
not,
should be.
if I'm not going to jail,
Right. If the reaction
I'm not going to
negative,
jail.
then you're gonna get out of that
if
situation.
your
and
reaction
that's
if your
what you
reaction is
should have
negative,
done.
then okay.
I should move along
I'll
anyway.
just walk my happy ass out of here.
Exactly.
Like,
bro.
and it's cool, but like people can think that's a double entendre because I'm like, yo, I don't like the chase. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And like, I don't like the chase. Like, I've had females come up to me. I've had like me just like being a dancing person and like being a vibe.
Right.
Energy is what attracts people to me.
Yeah.
Energy, and you can ask anybody. Energy. Yo, so okay with that.
Do you think that what comes with that is like effort? Like, you know, does the energy attract you because you don't have to try?
It's not an effort thing. I really, I've never had a like a Tinder, or I've never had any of those.
Nothing.
Ever.
I got a question
Ever.
for you. I got a question for you.
Ever. Yeah.
Nick.
Rate your sex ability, 1 being the worst, 10 being Johnny Sins. 1 to 10.
Jesus
what do you mean,
Christ.
bro? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like.
How
what do
good
mean?
are you at sex?
Oh.
Rate yourself.
a scale?
I don't.
1 to 10.
Okay, there's a
on
portion of
sex.
that question that I don't like because there's people that will see that as me being like egotistic or whatever like that.
Well,
like,
just say everyone was a test and you're getting A pluses across the board. I think you could say I'm an A+ student.
I'll give myself an 8.
An 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Safe.
Because-
Safe play.
Because
I think if you'd have said 9, I think 9's where guys like, okay, that's a lot.
No.
You know.
I would say 8 because like, dude, there's nothing, man. There's
There's
nothing,
no wrong
There's
answer.
nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing realistic.
As long as it's authentic.
Yeah, there's nothing realistic about the shit you see on porn
Yeah.
and the shit you
Right,
do
yeah.
in real.
Yeah.
Like there might aspects of it, but like, what's wrong with you? Are born with what you're born with. You're who you are.
Okay.
Like,
Do you have a stance on porn?
it's definitely. I think you just do you. Like you can't. Like
100%.
for me, I'm like if like I've stayed away from it personally just because I feel like it's not realistic.
I don't think it's good for my relationship.
It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Because I've had too many people tell you that, yo, I need to try this, and then that shit ends up backfiring. And you're like, yo, this girl, they know, these are actors, they know what's going on before they do it.
Yeah.
You don't, in that situation where shit happens, you don't know what's going on before you do it, unless you and your girl are like on some like, yo, I'm
On a
gonna like play
different page,
some crazy
yeah.
shit with you.
Yeah.
Like, but most of the time you don't. So like, why pretend that shit? And like, it's just like, whatever. Like, for me, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I really, like, I've gone to a point, and then maybe it's just me in my last relationships because, like, I've been cheated on before. Like, I've been done stuff, like, and it's happening, it's a switch because usually you have the guys cheating on the girl, but I have a girl cheating on me.
Of course,
So, like, for me, it's like, how do you see that differently? Because for me, like, I don't get in relationships unless I know that you're, like, on board.
Yeah.
Like, you're with my vibe. You understand me for me.
Right.
And you know what I'm trying to do, and you have something going on too. Like I'm trying to meet someone that has goals.
Yeah.
I'm trying to meet someone that has goals. I'm not trying to meet someone that's like, yo, I'm a bartender right now. All right, cool. Is that where you want to be? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay right now.
Right.
No.
You're
And
not
that's
on the
not
same
me
page.
putting anybody on a pedestal. That's me.
Or putting anyone down. You know,
No, that's
it's
that's
not saying bartenders are in the wrong place.
That's different. That's me saying like, there's nothing wrong with being bartender. There's nothing wrong with being waitress and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I know that's not your passion.
But
Together,
that
we're not
that
going
is
to
the best
be our
pickup
best.
line what you literally just said. That's why they just throw the pussies at you.
It's not your passion.
Because that line, that just got to know them. That is the thing. When you have confidence and you're asking the person about them,
Yeah.
you want to know how to get any girl to fall for you, walk up to them and tell me like what's your biggest passion?
See, but the crazy thing is that I've done that, and it's weird because like girls will look at you like you're giving them an interview. I'm
and
like,
they suck.
and
And they
it's
suck.
crazy.
Get them out.
But Nick,
No,
Come
it's-
on!
no, but
it's
see,
like a 15% chance that it works.
That's what sucks. But that's
No, but
reality. It's
that's
never
it's the
changed.
crazy
So,
that you
no one wants to go to the bar.
No, but it's
and
crazy
One
that
out
I
of
said
5 girls talks
It's
to them.
crazy that I said that because it's literally like that. You can't
Right.
have a you can't be
No,
like, yo.
It
because
is
the
literally
thing
like that, but to approach it the way that you're talking about is not successful. You know, like you're gonna go to the bar and you're gonna be by yourself. You know, because
It's a lose across.
Yes. Exactly.
I used to live in downtown Orlando in my single days, and I'd go out a decent amount. I was literally just a 2-second walk to a bar, and I would go out and sit by myself. And like girls would come up and sit by themselves, and I literally got looked at like a rapist for being like, oh, like, how was your day? You know, or like, can I buy you a drink? Or
you know what I think? We're getting to a point where the roles are reversing, and I think that girls or females are getting more. They're not comfortable with coming up to a man.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, like, you know, I think you look good. Like, I think you come up to some conversation.
How
Like,
much of that do you think is society telling them that they shouldn't have to do that?
I think it's them, and this is just me, but I think it's them trying to be more equal.
And that guys should have to be approaching them.
No, I just
to
think
get
it
their
should be more.
attention?
Yeah, I just think it'd be more equal. Like, girls are like, yo, I should want to come up to a guy and talk to him instead of him coming up to me.
Oh, it should be that way.
Yeah.
That they should
Yeah.
have to approach the guy.
but saying that hits 15% of the time, does that mean that 85% of chicks just suck? Because I would not believe that metric.
I think it's all
Dude.
circumstantial.
I think
Dude,
it's a pretty
to
high
me,
number.
90%.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
think,
chicks
I think a
suck.
lot of chicks suck, but also you can't base the ratio on how many of those interactions connect.
Yeah.
Because it also depends on every interaction.
No,
you
they
know?
suck.
That girl
based
may not
on my
match
personality. They suck
based on your personality,
Yeah,
exactly.
Correct.
But
you
they
know?
might suck less based on his personality.
Based on my personality, they suck. And that's just because like people, man, one-minded. Like, I meet females that are way too one-minded.
Yeah.
Like, and this has to do with, like, I meet females that have been in relationships for 4 or 5 plus years, and they get out, and they were in like just a shitty relationship, and they got out of this relationship.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm done. Whatever. Talking the most shit about this person, like I'm never gonna get back with them.
Yeah.
2-3 months later.
Back.
But why, like, and are afraid to move on? Like,
Is it being comfortable or what is it?
What is it? I don't know. For me personally, like, I always give somebody a chance, but if you like, you have to be able to understand what is what and understand your situation.
Yeah.
Like, love is love, and I understand. Like, I've been in love. Like, I've understood that. Like, I've been in a 2+ year relationship. Like, I understand that. But at the same time, we had to. If we don't have that communication and you don't understand, like, you know, where I'm coming from at a certain point, like, we're not going to have that.
Right.
Like, you know, so it's kind of weird to see that, like, happen.
At what point in a relationship do you think you can make that assessment? You know, like, say, I think it's more prevalent for, like, people that are getting into long-term relationships at, like, a really young age. You know, being a person myself, not the relationship I'm in now, but I got into a long-term relationship when I was, like, 19 and lived with that person for years. And naturally, in my head, I was thinking, like, this is the person I'm with for the rest of my life. Because look at how much shit I've built with them. Look at how long we've been together. Look at how much stuff we've experienced together.
We've got a dog. We've got a
But
cat.
all these
but
things,
what?
you
But
know?
was there ever any doubt in your mind?
Hell yeah. There was all sorts of red
Because-
flags and all sorts of things that made me feel uncomfortable. And
So, when those happened, were those, like, things that were addressed? No.
not in the proper way. At the time, I was thinking, I can
and-
fix this.
yeah.
And let me just have this conversation with this person so she understands where I'm coming from. And then she'll stop doing that thing that I'm telling her to stop doing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it didn't work out that
Yeah.
way. You know, she repeated the actions that were hurting me.
Yep.
And
it's and I'm seeing that go through, like, right now with other friends, and I'm just like, yo, like, it's for me, I'm like, I don't understand it, because in my opinion, I'm trying to, like, look, if this happened, it happened for a reason. Like, when people are given chances, they're given chances for a reason. When those chances are broken and you move on, you need to move on. Like, it's not like people carry, and I've been in relationships where they've tried to bring their past into their future, and I'm like, there's
Suck.
a reason.
That's in the suck category for me.
No, but I'm saying that but I'm saying there's a reason why. There's a reason that it happens. It happens to so
That's
many.
why it just didn't work out.
When people, I'm saying when people are like, yo, when females like, yo, I have baggage. Like, every female has baggage. But the thing is, there's females that have baggage and decide to leave that baggage in the attic. And there's females that have baggage and decide to. I'm just
praise it.
I'm just
That's a
saying.
good one.
But I'm saying that because it's true. Like, I've met both, and I'm like, why are you comparing me to something that happened before.
Right.
Like, but it's ingrained because they want to. That's just what they know.
Yeah.
So it's like someone going to prison and then coming home after prison after like 20 plus years.
Like, I'm not sharing shit with you.
Prison is ingrained in their mind.
Right.
Now, you cannot get that out of. It's the same. You being in a long term relationship. You know is that long term relationship. All you know is them. You don't want anyone else. You think of someone else. All you think about is them. Or somehow, even though you're not in a relationship, if you get with someone else, you think you're cheating on them.
Or like when she says,
crazy.
when she says,
That was fire.
I like your size, the big ones hurt.
Shut the fuck up.
Something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Big ones hurt.
Oh my God. Yo, if I
And you're
ever,
like, you talking balls? You
The big ones hurt.
talking soft or hard?
bro, dude, it comes to
Well,
that.
are we counting girth in this?
Yo, that comes to that click question. Yeah, you're talking about, bro.
God.
Like,
That was funny.
listen.
Man, it's like, yo, where's the hood?
That was well said, though, Ryan, man.
No,
I think
I
you
just
nailed it, man.
But it's hard to. But see, this is hard to explain to.
If I gave you $1 million
Somebody.
for every inch you took off your penis, how many million you taking?
Yeah.
Hey, come on, Mr. 8.
Yeah.
You think he randomly picked that number? I picked up what you're putting down. 8.
I hate you.
And he said 8. He looked at me in the eyes and he said,
Yo, I hate you.
it's
bro.
a pretty comfortable number.
Yo, I hate you. I hate you, bro. I hate you, bro.
And
I hate you, bro.
I guarantee you, he was about to say 2 million.
Bro, I plead the fifth. Don't answer that question, bro.
Because
Oh
5.5 to 6 is the small dick to average dick size.
Yo, but the crazy thing is
That
that
is so
the
funny.
average size of a penis is 6.5.
Well, 5.
According
No,
to
or 5, like 6. No, like
It's like,
no, but
definitely not.
No, but dude, no, well, like the average. Okay, 6. Sorry, like 5.5, 6, like 6, like 5.5, 6. Like that's the average.
5.5 for sure.
These
is
half
average.
inches
No, but-
are huge.
They are. They mean a lot.
Let's not discount
They mean a lot.
half
5 is acceptable. 5 is acceptable.
No, I just say like, it's just true. Like I think that personally, but I see any girl that comes to you and is just like, yo, like I only take a certain size. Bro, it's bullshit. They're bullshit.
Yeah, fuck
like,
all that.
Any girl that's like, yo, I can take a certain size. Is like, bro, any guy that knows how to have like sexual relations with you or sex with you,
Yeah.
like a guy that knows what he's doing. Like it
Does
don't
he
matter.
have sex?
It
Does
doesn't
he
matter.
have sex?
Doesn't.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sometimes doesn't.
Uh-huh.
I've had moments where I haven't even been able to like.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
your W. You called it a night.
1,000.
But that's why I.
Oh, what was that a sign for? Was that get hard? Was that?
No, I was saying like sometimes like
It's a lot of blood
Yo,
flow to 8 inches.
question: if you can make, I feel like if you can make the foreplay so
Yeah,
good
yeah.
that she like that you don't even make it to fucking like
Oh, you're talking oral sex.
whatever, like oral sex, like orally
Dry.
like no
What else
no I'm
you
saying
talking about?
orally fingering like whatever. No, I'm saying if the four I'm saying
Are you mental nutting? What
no
is this?
no I'm saying if you can.
It's a thing, you know.
Apparently it is.
Mental nutting.
No, I'm saying, but like you, like every aspect of it. So whether that's orally, whether that's you, like you know, you going down on someone, you finger like someone like you just having like whatever your foreplay entitles of, like.
Okay, so you're at the bar, you're suave with this nice Latino. Listen to Barbados. What was the name of his music?
I'm
Suavemente.
done with you.
Babylon.
Reggaeton.
Bad
Babylon.
Bunny?
Magatoni.
Reggaeton.
Rigatoni.
You're listening to some nice reggaeton, and you go home, but you know you were sweating for 3 hours, right? She's, you know, I don't know what that's like down there. Are you going in? Are you eating box on the first night?
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, dude, what?
No
It
question.
happened in
asked.
Miami. It happened in Miami for my boy's 21st birthday. I mean, we were at the club and then came out after the club and went straight back to the hotel.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
pretty standard
dude, and
procedure.
it's not happened to you. This happened to you. Just
No, it's happened to me, but every time it's been a huge regret. Thinking, I don't, like, I guess, again, post-nut clarity, right? But you're like, that's a lot of germs going on down there. Like, fuck, you know?
Are you thinking about the germs like after the fact, or
No,
during,
no.
during the fact you're
For-
going
for-
like, wow, this feels antibacterial?
I feel like the manliest man feeling is eating box.
Yeah,
Check it
yeah.
out.
Right.
What's more animal feeling?
You know,
than
the
that?
crazy thing is that I've heard this from just friends that are females, is that, bro, these guys don't know how to freaking eat box, bro.
Right.
Listen to Call Her Daddy.
Yo, you know how many
explain
girls I've met that were like, they like guys and now they switch to like lesbians?
Yeah.
Because, bro, they were not getting the satisfaction, and it
Dude,
sucks because
here's the problem for me with that, like, and I believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe it.
You have to get comfortable enough with a girl though for her to give you criticism.
To give me some criticism
Yeah,
so I know
but
where
is
I
that-
stand.
Is that hard in this day and age with social media
Yeah,
and all the buys?
It's
The
hard
older you get though,
publicly.
the older you get though, I feel like if like in your situation where you're so confident in yourself, I feel like when you lay down in bed, you'd be like, hey, what do you like? Like,
Give me a rating on
Yeah.
1 to 10, please,
No,
Shawty.
no, not
this shit I
after the
wanna-
sex. I feel like on the way home, does he like? Do you want me to eat you out? Do you want me like? Do
No,
beforehand
I'm not
might make it
talking to you
weird.
about that in the car. I'm just like telling
Yeah.
you how much you're about to fucking.
Yeah,
Get
before it
destroyed.
might be a little
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm not
are
telling
a
you,
talker?
like, what
Are
I'm
you a
gonna do to
talker
you.
in Sex? Are you
Yeah, that's a
screaming
good
and shit?
question.
What do you mean
That
depends?
just depends on the
What's the
woman.
loudest scream you think you've ever made?
Or like, you
It's not
know,
the scream I've ever made.
do you have
Yeah.
like a go-to phrase?
Yeah.
Is there a phrase that you're like, you
To be
you know
honest,
you like this?
Yeah.
To be honest, no. That shit is just in the moment. Like
Yeah.
depends on the
Spur
on
of
the
the
person.
moment.
Depends on the person. I've had
Yeah.
I've been with someone who's like very loud. I've been with someone who's like very quiet.
Yeah.
But they're just quiet. Like they just handle it a different way.
And how much does that change how you act? Like if the person is quiet, are you
Oh,
compensating with the noise?
you bring a little bit out of the other person.
Okay.
In terms of the way you act.
That's such a good answer. That's a good answer.
In terms of the way that you
I know he's choking bitches,
Dude,
slapping bitches.
No.
This
He's
is authentic.
saying-
This
yeah.
is
Bro.
authentic.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but the thing is, like, I'm like, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna just like, I mean, I mean, you're gonna be surprised. Like, I'll surprise you
Yeah.
with shit, but like, you're gonna know what my intentions are. It's
Right,
not gonna be
right.
like, yo, I'm just gonna like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just.
Is Ryan choking me?
Yeah.
yeah, like you're
submission
you're
right
gonna
now?
know because if you're like the type of person, and I can tell this before we even get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when we meet or whatever, like that, first I can tell your energy, your vibe,
Yeah.
how you are as a person, how you talk, how you communicate. Like
Yeah.
that's when I talked to when I was telling you about passion, like how that's the
Yeah.
type of things that I'm thinking of. I'm like, yo, like I can tailor all that stuff back to like how you are, like who you are as a person.
Do you think you could judge how dudes lay dick, like how Pete and I lay dick? Can you judge that?
You almost made me spit out my drink like 4 times a day. No, honestly,
How do you think I lay dick? Give me 3 words to the way I lay dick. 3 words.
damn, dude, I don't know. Like
That's
I don't
the point,
judge
Ryan.
other people.
You're judging me.
Why?
How do I? 3 words.
If you gotta ask,
Yeah.
Gotta,
probably not great.
yeah, like I don't like.
Well, that's not a great vibe I'm
well,
getting.
that's a question.
Well,
Well,
I
no,
mean,
hold on,
I'm
that's a
just saying,
question.
honestly.
Hold on, that's a question then. Like how? Like, let's be honest then.
Yeah,
How?
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
like, you asked me. You
My
asked
question
me.
is, looking at Nick, how good do you think he lays dick?
I think honestly,
Well,
no. Listen to me.
Lay it on me.
Honestly,
With his forward
because
focus.
because he gives like such a like positive, like just fun, like funny, fucking like
Yeah.
comedic style. I honestly give you like a 7.
It can't be too bad,
okay.
right? You know?
So
No,
what
because
you're saying is
he-
my personality is making up for something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he has. I feel like he has.
100%.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
but I feel like he has.
Exactly.
I feel like
Nailed
he
it.
has fun with it. Like he like there's a different type of like,
Yeah.
yo, this is fucking hilarious to me. Like this is funny.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't know. But at the same time,
Like I walk in the door, I'm saying you get fucked tonight.
yeah. Like King of the Hill
shit
shit.
like that.
I
Bro,
hope so.
Yeah.
bro, no, but like, okay, question. Is that something you do to your girl right now?
Oh, but that's why I just said it.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I don't know if you say that,
It's a
but
real life example.
Yeah.
would you just walk in there and
Are
just be
you
like, yo?
aroused or not?
No, but I'm like, how open are you? Or would you just walk in one day and just be like, yo?
Yeah, I mean, that's not something I would ever say to my girl.
No, like I have to ask
right.
you. That's not how
To put
how
things in
upfront-
perspective.
How upfront? Okay,
I've never said that
Question
out
then.
What does that mean?
I've never said to JoJo, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you tonight. Never. have
Bro,
I ever.
honestly, no. But I have to ask you, how do you like? How comfortable? Like, how open are you when it comes to talking to your girl in terms of like anything, like whether it be
Cock rings.
sexually or it be
Yeah.
communicative wise? How are you with that? Are you like open with it? Is
To
it
be
weird?
honest with you, in the moment, which we've spoken about on a previous episode, I'm not like during sex, I don't do a lot of talking. You know, I'm not saying like
No, Pete's-
fucking
Pete's-
almost anything.
quiet.
I do
Serial
like.
killer.
No, it's not like we're looking at each other in the fucking eye, missionary, and
You're
I'm just
smirking? Is
staring
there a
at it.
smile though? Because a smile in sex is weird.
No.
You can't smile.
I feel like
To
more
be
he's
honest,
focused.
we're not face to face that often.
Okay.
I
you
feel
know?
like more he's focused. Like he's
But-
just like doing.
Yeah,
I'm giving,
Yeah.
I'm giving grunts. You know, there's like verbal.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I
I'm
know
not
what you mean.
saying words like, "Oh, you're so sexy." You know, this feels so good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
But
I don't
like
say
I
things
said-
like
But
that.
like I said, if
I'm
you're
hitting the
certain,
back.
if your certain person was more vocal, like if she was someone who talked, like it was like freaky, like
Right.
talk to you, like
There's
yo,
certain
dude,
situations
if there-
where all
if
that's going on.
I'm saying then you could like rebuttal back and say some shit, but like
Yeah.
that depends on the situation.
I'm not saying my way is the right way. There's
Yeah.
definitely people that say a whole lot of things
Yeah.
while they're fucking. It's just that's not like my style.
Yeah, no,
you know? And I
agreed,
also don't
agreed.
think it's JoJo's style. I don't think
But
she's
that-
looking for
But
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's just like it depends on the vibe of like what is happening. I'm usually not the person that talks that much either. Like I'm
Right,
kind of like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Not
that's just,
super vocal.
Yeah.
But you'll know there.
yeah.
But like you're
Yeah,
not like
100%. I'm not also silent, just going like.
yeah.
you know. But like there's people like no,
Staring
there's some,
at you
but
with
there's
your
some people that
eyes.
are weird. Like I've heard girls tell me there's some shit that weird
Yeah.
like that. When it gets to some weird shit, doesn't talk to you, like weird, doesn't like slap his ass, like doesn't do nothing. Like
Yeah.
girl,
Let me ask you this, Nick. I'm gonna ask both of you.
Huh?
You've obviously watched porn, and there's girls sucking dick, right? Well, in porn, where they're like staring right at you
Shit's so
while
stupid.
they're doing it. You know,
Dudes over his shoulders.
This shit's stupid as fuck. Like
it's super unrealistic,
Yeah.
right? You know, in the sense where like, how many times have you been getting head where the girl
Yeah,
looks
you're like-
directly at you
Yeah.
and will not break eye contact while she's sucking your dick? It's like unrealistic almost,
Yeah.
you know. And to that point, when you're watching a video like
Yeah.
that, does that make you go, "Oh my god,"
Nope.
you know, or is it just like,
I'm not gonna lie, that shit turns me off because I'm like
Answer A.
yeah?
because
So you got answer A and you got answer B.
Yeah.
Because if that shit was in real life,
It
right,
makes
that
me
shit
feel
ain't-
uncomfortable, to be honest.
Dude,
What?
if-
I wouldn't even.
What do you?
Speaking from personal experience, I've had a girl
Wait,
sucking
whoa,
my dick
and looking at you, and it makes
looking
you
at me right in
awkward?
the eye, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
So you're just using the spank bank? Is that all you're using?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. There's two sides to that
Because you definitely.
100% there is. That's why I'm saying it. There's definitely two sides.
there's a different side
Without
to that.
a doubt.
Because there's a side that I had girls look at me,
Some people love
but
it.
and it's been in a situation, but the only time that's happened is when I was fucked up.
Yeah.
So like it was different. I was like, oh,
Visceral.
But,
But
I
I've
feel
never
like
done
you
that
would
sober.
say. I feel like you would say, "Look me in my eyes."
yeah, no, I would
Those
be.
words
Yeah.
are never coming out of my mouth.
No,
Yeah.
Look
like,
at me in
no,
my
like,
eyes.
I would never say that either. Like I would never say that as well unless like she like I saw her looking at me.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah,
was like,
right.
oh, look, like if
She was
you
asking
show a
for
sense
it.
of like demonstrative, like you're trying to be like some kind of like alpha in this shit. I'm
You
like,
want some
I'm
instruction.
like, if you want to be treated that way,
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right. I can play
But
the
that's
game.
what I'm saying. It has to.
You want your little slut for you, just for you
yeah,
though.
you have.
Yeah.
But like saying like you have, but whatever she wants to do, she wants to be like. At the end of the day, this has to. She's the one that holds the key.
I don't
Yeah.
even want my own little.
No, but I'm
slut.
saying
I
at the
just
end
wanted
of-
to be
At the
fucking
end,
normal.
at the end, of
I'm not saying that for me.
I know that was the example you just gave me.
At the end of the day,
I think
she-
everyone-
my answer was no. I
Yeah.
don't want that. That's
Wait,
not
I think
what
that's
want.
kind of cool. I would say, you know, like
In a perfect scenario, yeah, you want your own little slut. Yeah, I guess that
No, but,
sounds
like,
cool.
when you
know,
say
but
that,
it,
it's-
it
but I
sounds,
see what-
it sounds horrible.
That's fucking terrible.
No, but
No,
like
I didn't mean it
but-
like that.
Hey,
That's what
but-
you said,
hey,
though.
let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real.
X.
Like, yo, let's be real. No, let's be real. Your
Real
girl,
one.
your girl, you will know your girl. You will know your girl.
Yeah,
You
right,
know,
right.
you will know your
Yeah,
girl. You will know what your
yeah.
girl likes. You'll know what turn your girl on.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they don't try to even get to know their girl that much, where they know those subtle hints and shit that.
Yeah, I was like
Dude, like-
third experience in. I'm like, yo, all right, give me the post game press conference.
Yeah.
Where are we lacking? Where,
You talking about practice?
what do we need? What do we need to pick up?
No, but dude,
You know, do
dude,
like fast,
bro.
slow, in, out.
Bro.
You know, what is
How
the
was your
bottle?
first review? pretty solid.
Performance
A
review.
7.
Performance
Yeah,
review.
you're like, okay, we're in this for the long haul.
You know what? That has to come back to the whole girls on the pedestal thing, because I feel like girls nowadays have to hold the fucking performance review for niggas to. Sorry, to be honest, to be on that too. Because but that's to the point where like they're like, yo, why can't you accept the person that you have in front of you for the person that you have in front of you, and understand that if you got to that certain point with that person, it's because you understood what that person had going for them, and you accepted what that person had going for them.
Yeah.
If you get with that person and you don't know what you have going for them, you're stupid because you didn't take the chance or you didn't take the time
That's what
to get to know somebody.
we're forgetting the 90%. I think that's just
But I'm
the
saying
answer to all the questions.
Yeah, but that's
Just suck less, to be honest.
And I think that's the thing to take into consideration too, is like there's a certain percentage of the population that is trying to seek people out who they find themselves the most compatible with.
Yeah.
You know, and they enjoy their time with that person the most. And there's some people who are doing it, for lack of a better word, for the clout, you know, and who they think they look the best with, you know, or who makes the most sense for them to be with. And those ones.
And you know, the crazy thing is, people ask me the other day, or like a lot of people ask me all the time, like, yo, you in a relationship with someone? No. You why how you know with somebody? How you know with somebody right now? I'm like, bro, like, is it, if you know me, like, you know, like, I'm an open book. Like, I'm an open book. People just don't want to get to know me. Like, people, like, if people ask, I'll tell them. If a female comes out, if we can have a conversation.
But the vibe, because you're so good with your words, but you're authentic. What is the vibe? Play it, chicken dinner.
No. No.
Ryan, if I didn't know you
if
I didn't know you and I had a 5-minute conversation with him, my read from you would either
play it, chicken dinner.
No.
my read from you would be, this is either a very, very, very decent fellow, or this is a kid from Palm Beach who's full of shit.
Yeah, no.
Here's the thing. You get to know you for more than 5 minutes. My personality is the exact same. You get to know me for more than 5 minutes. You're like, okay, this dude's actually a good guy.
Because, like, so for me, it's.
But do you understand how many girls on Palm Beach get this perfect pitch?
Understand.
This perfect 5-minute pitch?
I understand. And you know, the funny thing is because I grew up, like I said, I grew up around women. I have a lot of females that are friends. I have a lot of females that are friends. So that creates a pro and a con when it comes to dating somebody or talking to somebody. Because,
Can
like,
you
I
be
always
friends
see
with a girl after you have sex with them?
Yes.
Do you mean that?
I can.
No one ever asked it like that.
Okay,
you know?
you can. Do you think it's a normal thing?
You never give each other the eyes when you're drinking or anything like that?
Because I understand this from a deeper me. I'm not just there to be like, yo, I just want to smash. And I don't go around just smashing girls.
Right.
For me, it is a deeper.
Remember, he's single still.
No, but and yes, it's coming from, but like I'm saying, being out of like relationships where I dealt with, like, I've dated 2 people that worked downtown, worked in like in entertainment. It's like that. Like, it's just, for me personally, I feel like that's just how it is with me. Like,
and that's what, like, the single thing is, like, I've not had that. You make such good points, and it's like bringing back memories for me, because I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, and it's like when you're 3 years removed from something, you start to like gain touch of the whole.
And I mean, I shouldn't say it. Like, I have nothing. There's no part of me that will be able to understand what somebody in a relationship is going through right now. So I'm not speaking out of somebody going in a relationship. I'm just saying, as this being right now, as me being someone that's open to be like, yo, this is why I'm not in a relationship, is because, like, I haven't met someone that matched my vibe.
Yeah.
I have not met someone that matched my vibe. Like, I've had people, and I've had friends like that end up being girls and stuff like that. But the reason that they end up being girls, and I'm okay with that, is because, like, I know them. Like, I know what they have going on in their lives right now, and that shit's crazy because, like, I don't feel like taking part in all that drama, all that BS. Whether it being like another guy that like is an old person coming back in, like, whatever. Like, if you know me, you'll know, like, to like communicate, talk to me, hang out with me and shit like that. It won't be no, like, you know, weird conversation.
And you're not saying that you can be in a relationship with someone that you're close to. It's just that being close to those people,
I would rather be in a relationship with someone close to,
because you know what you're signing up for.
Because then I know I understand them. I know what they have going on. But that's why I was saying earlier. I was like, yo, it's good to be without in the friend zone thing. It's good to be best friends with the person that you're being in a relationship with, because, like, those are relationships I think that last the longest. Those are the marriages I think that last the longest, because you really are like, yo, I enjoy
chilling with this
bro. And it's something that crazy that I heard this comedian Patrice O'Neal say. He's like, yo, you can't like someone and love someone at the same time. And
why do you think that is?
And because, like, when you like somebody, you like you want to be like, that's like the first initial, like, yo, I want to be with that person, I want to be around that person, I want to hang out with that person.
Honeymoon stage.
The love is that's a honeymoon stage, but it's different. The love stage is the like, and love is such a, like, it's too easily thrown around. But I really understand, like, love is kind of understanding more so
Empathies.
who that person truly is for them.
And what made them
that person. That doesn't make somebody want to stay with you for a very long time. That's love. Like, yo, I love, you know how many people I love you, bro. Like, that's just something that just, I love like who you are as a person. Like, I love how that, like, you know, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like want to stay with you for the rest of my life. Yeah. You really like somebody, like you are like, yo, I can't, like, I'm mad, like I can't imagine myself, like I don't like being away from you. And it kind of is weird to me, and I understand it's different, but like for me, it was a big thing, me understanding that, because I was like, damn, that kind of is like true in a sense, because like you want your space. People love their space. You be with someone too much, you can get sick of them.
100%.
Tell me that's not wrong.
No matter
you be
how
with
much
someone,
you like them.
no matter if you live with them or not, you still like to do your guys' night, see some of the girls' night. You do not like the. So that's what a lot of the budding comes from, because they're like, yo, you don't understand that someone needs their space and someone doesn't. That's why people get on these relationships and they break up for like a couple weeks or whatever, and end up getting back together. I'm like, why can't you just be like, yo, let me do this, like hang out with my girls and shit like that. Like, and it comes down to
but
trust.
here's the problem. All the things you're saying, Ryan, are the correct answers. It's just that's logic.
No, yeah,
and like you are like an intelligent human, you know. And I think,
and I understand it's not like that when you're actually in a relationship, because it's different dealing with someone that has a different kind of things and emotions going on, you know.
But the older I get and the realer I am with people, I just think that it's not that I'm not sympathetic towards that. It's just like, be yourself, and if you don't know who that is, explore that until you do, and like work on that. And then once you find yourself and you feel comfortable with
there's
that,
only one you. There's only one
it.
person that you are supposed to end up or you can end up being with. Like, you catch a person that's your vibe, you make that you happen. There's nothing that. But once if like you're saying, like people that are like in the early 20s and shit like that get in relationships and be like for like 5-6 years and then be like, yo, I can't get with no one else. I'm like, yeah,
right.
You don't
this
have the rest of your life
to be with.
Like you don't, like, they're like, oh, my life's over. I'm like, bro, you're not 50, 60 years old, bro.
Right.
Like,
I'm glad you said that.
You're still young. You have so much of this life, and if you think life is over, I'm like, and there's so many people I know that are going through that right now. I'm like, yo, if you just took a time to realize how easy we have it, how like little time we really have, like, you wouldn't be stuck with, you know, and
that relationship that they're getting out of for a reason, you know. They weren't supposed to be in that relationship. It was hurting their life for a reason.
But they get back in that relationship because they cannot move on. They can't.
It's usually the easiest thing to do.
You see someone new,
path of least resistance.
Yeah, you see someone new, and for some reason, it automatically reminds them of what was.
Yeah,
it's the easiest route to go.
They can't accept what it is.
But you'll also never get to the relationship that's right for you while you're with that person or with anyone else that's not right for you, you know? So it's like such a toxic cycle, because you feel comfortable with this person that you know and that understands you, even though they don't treat you the right way, but you know that they understand you, so it feels comfortable.
Yeah.
But while you're in that relationship, you'll never be able to find the relationship that's actually right for you because you're occupied with that other one.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
Ultimately,
I think it's a toxic cycle a lot of people fall into.
Agreed.
A lot of people just don't understand a relationship. You're going to continue to change each other as you grow, and that's okay. And
you're supposed to.
You're supposed to, and I think a lot of people get scared because they feel themselves changing.
They don't want to change.
And they want to resist the change. In reality, your partners are, like, whenever you're getting married to someone, they're like, yeah, that person's changed you. Yeah, I fucking hope they've changed me, made me a better person. And so, like, yeah, I want my person to fucking change me in the best way. Just like I want my 5 closest friends to me to be the best people in the world. And, you know,
so, like,
it just makes sense.
So, question: in terms of you being in a relationship, the people that you used to hang out with when you were single, and then obviously when you got in a relationship, you kind of like step back from them because you're hanging out with your girl now. Yeah. Is there still, like, how do you handle dealing with that? Like, do you still like, yo, like,
off the rip if it's serious or not, and I give them like a look, but like there's like a bro look, and like, yo, dude, met this chick. Yeah. Like, I don't gotta get emotional, but like, no,
that's great, because that doesn't happen.
No, but like,
don't have that conversation.
It's not like the, yo, me and so slept together last night, crazy.
No, this is legit. Like, I'm not trying to fuck this up.
It's like, yo, I went on a date last night, and I'll be real with you boys. Yeah. damn. Like, yeah.
But
So-
I think that says a lot about your circle. If you
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable having that conversation when
Yeah.
that time
But,
comes,
yeah.
then your circle
Agreed.
is not the right
and
circle.
also your boys that like truly like your boys would be like, yo, I understand, but at the same time they'll understand that look, you will make time. You'll make time for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You'll make time for your like it's compromise. You have to
Yeah.
compromise. Like, and too many people, and that comes back to communication, which too many people don't have. Like guys or girls. I mean, I communicate with my boys that like are in relationships still now. We hang out. We might not see each other for a couple weeks, couple months, whatever like that, but we still communicate. I still see them.
Yeah.
Like if I see you again, it's like we never were away from each other.
Right.
That's just like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like it's not that.
we
that
talked about
shouldn't
that
be
change.
difficult,
Like that change goes good and it goes bad
Yeah.
too. You know, so like
I think it has a lot to do with those stepping stones of
because
how
I've had
you
the people
deal
that
with
have
the
cut you off.
transition.
I've had the people that have cut you off, and you're like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck happened to you?
Right. And if
Like,
it's like
dude-
that, it's really easy to be like, oh, well,
And
fuck
then-
him, he
yeah.
changed.
And then guys are like, oh, this girl's got you by vice grip, got you by the
Right.
balls. I'm like, bro, like, and they're like, oh, we can't do it. I'm like, bro, if you really like, come on, bro, like we're men. This is a woman. We're not boys and girls anymore. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta like handle this shit like a man. Like, handle it. Like, if you want to hang out with your boys, like 1 day or 2 days out of whatever, hang out with your boy. If she want to do that, let her do that. But like, you guys have to have that compromise. It comes back to communication. That has to be snuffed out.
Yeah.
Like off rip.
Right.
It's always
That has to
normal.
be snuffed off rip.
Before that conversation is necessary, it should almost be had, where it's like, hey,
Well,
look, this is what I have coming into my life, and I know what's coming.
That comes
I
to you
still want
understanding.
y'all
Yeah.
boys to be a part
Yeah.
of it, so this is when I'm probably
Yeah.
going to see you, but you're
Yeah.
going to see me a lot less during this time.
Agreed.
Well, ultimately, there would never be any problems in a relationship if there was perfect communication, and that's not the reality.
And that's not. Yeah,
it's
There's
just
always
right.
miscommunication. That's why little arguments happen. But
But that's why the answer always
But
comes
that's
back
the, and
to
that's the petty
communication.
and that's the petty stuff I was talking about, because the petty, like those little things,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh whatever, like, you know, those small things, but people can hold that so.
yeah.
And
Right.
more people hold that dear than they do. I'm like, bro, if we didn't realize that we literally spent the last 30 minutes arguing over something that literally means nothing to
Yeah.
nobody.
Right.
Get out of it.
And a lot of the times it wasn't a personal attack, it was
Some people just like the
an
argument,
error
too.
on their
A
own.
lot of people don't like
human
constructive criticism.
Well, a lot of people just like to argue.
1,000%,
Yeah.
dude.
Like,
But
even if it's
also,
your other.
Yeah.
more so than that, I think a lot of people don't like to take accountability.
Yeah.
You know, even when they are in the wrong. You know, constructive criticism is one thing because it's like, more often than not, hopefully you asked for the constructive criticism. But accountability is like one of those things where if you fucked up and someone calls you out on it, if you actually fucked up in that situation, you need to be able to look at yourself and go, I did wrong, you know, and next time I need to do better. Like, I won't do that again.
But there's what you say and that's how you say it.
Sure, yeah.
No, that's what you say and what you do
That
after.
it's just how you.
Yeah.
There's a way that you can address certain things that will either end up one way or end up another. You can address them will end up negatively or positively. Why can't we make that? Why can't you let's say check somebody or like talk to somebody and be like, yo, like I noticed something, but you can say that in a light that doesn't make them go
It
off
doesn't have
the
to be an
rails.
attack.
It doesn't have to be an attack. Just
yeah.
talk to just talk to them.
It should be
like,
constructive.
yeah.
I mean,
Hey, I
constructive
noticed-
criticism should always be constructive.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's where sometimes it gets out of line, is where people
Well-
like, well, then criticize someone and be like, well, it's just
Well,
constructive
because they think
criticism.
because I think constructive criticism has gotten a bad rep because constructive criticism now is like split into two things. Constructive criticism, a lot of people think constructive criticism means somebody yelling at you, means somebody
I'm
doing
pointing
something
out
like
what
that,
you did wrong.
versus someone just being like, look, like I observed this, like I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand. Like, you gotta be able to compromise with this person. Like, look, have that. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but this is like I just don't understand this.
You have to explain the whys behind things. We're reading a book, How to Gain Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
And the number one thing is you have to understand why someone is feeling the way they do, and give them a reason why to change their opinion. You know, I want you to start writing your journal in the morning, so at nighttime we get to spend more time together. You know, the real reason was, you know, she's up late getting anxiety writing stuff down, but I wanted her to get like the extra reason. So you have to change the perspective.
But you want to see that real them.
What?
You want to see that real,
Yeah,
like
100%.
them, like that vulnerability
Yeah.
that a lot of people do not.
Yeah, that's why
want to show.
I should be Dr. Phil, really.
But it's like and like I said again, it's
Can
so
you say it, Dr. Nick?
it's so difficult. It's so
Dr.
difficult to
Oz is out.
explain, bro. Like, it's just so difficult to explain that vulnerability. Like, no one like God, especially with
You know what we
guys.
have to do? We have to bring a local, like your but counterpart as a female on the podcast.
All right. Well, that might be arguably our most controversial episode we've ever recorded. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully there's still some girls that have stuck around to the end of that episode and we didn't horribly offend anyone. That being said, though, we do want to bring a girl on and kind of have the same kind of conversation, get a female's perspective on everything we talked about, and maybe even, have you go back and forth with Ryan on a lot of the topics we talked. So if you are one of those girls that is interested in coming on and sharing your opinion on these topics, or if you've got a suggestion for who we should invite, let us know below. Because, again, our intentions in having these conversations is not to offend anyone or push any buttons, We're just speaking our minds. And that being said, we think it's fair to let a female come on and kind of voice her opinion as well. So, you guys keep us posted, don't cancel us, and let us know who we should bring on. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Peace.
Sometimes might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Boy, deuce inside the south to turn it over, I just sing. Yeah, sometimes might be purple, sometimes it might be that pink. Probably roll that purple diesel, that shit Cuban like my links. But I really like that Cali, cause that shit don't make me trip. Yeah.